Fernando Parado was sitting on a flight enjoying the view when suddenly and without warning, the plane that he was on began to plummet through the air. The plane that he was on was the infamous Flight 571, and his life was about to take a tragic turn. On October 13th, 1972, a plane carrying a Uruguayan rugby team through the Andes Mountains. The team had chartered a military aircraft to fly from Montevideo to Santiago, Chile. There were 45 people on board. Bad weather forced an overnight stop in Mendoza, Argentina. The next day, the flight continued, heading south to find a low pass through the mountains. About an hour in, the pilots believed they'd crossed the mountains and began to descend. But they were wrong. Still deep in the Andes, the plane struck a ridge. The wings tore off and the fuselage crashed into a snowy valley. 12 people died instantly. The survivors are stranded at nearly 12,000 feet with no food, no heat, no way to call for help. For 8 days, rescuers searched in the wrong area. When the group heard over a radio that the search had been called off, they knew they were on their own. They rationed what little they had. They had chocolate, some wine, but it was gone within days. Freezing, starving, and surrounded by the bodies of their dead friends, they had to make a terrible decision. To survive, they would eat the dead. Then 2 weeks later, an avalanche buried the fuselage during the night, killing 8 more. The rest were nearly suffocated underneath the snow before digging their way out. By December, only 16 people were still alive. 3 of them set out to find help. 1 turned back. The other 2, Fernando and Roberto, climbed for days through snow and ice with no map and almost no supplies. After 10 days, they spotted 3 Chilean herdsmen across the river. The water was too loud to speak over, so they wrote a note, wrapped it around a rock, and threw it. "I come from a plane that crashed in the mountains." Helicopters arrived the next day. 6 were rescued on December 22nd. The final 8 the following day. They had survived 72 days in the Andes. News that they had resorted to cannibalism shocked the world. But when the survivors spoke about the choices they faced, the people they lost, and the strength they found, the story became something else. Not just about survival, but about the human will to endure the unimaginable.